Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today we're doing the 2 books tag. I was tagged by the lovely Layla over at Ethio Book Junkie. If you don't follow her, you should head on over to her channel and check her out. She's super sweet. She has like really great book reviews. She talks a lot about romance, and I think she's reading Game of Thrones right now and has been talking about that. And yeah, I love her book reviews and her channel is so freaking cozy. So definitely go check her out. And thank you, Layla, for tagging me. I'm very late getting to this. Life has been crazy, but we're here. We're in a little bit of a new setup because my Halloween storage boxes kind of exploded in the corner that I normally, wow, I'm slurring my words, that I normally film in. So we're here today. This is the 2 books tag. Should be fairly short and sweet. I tried to pick books for this tag that I actually had on my shelves. So here we go. The first question is 2 books that you've recently read. So these were both from the library. The first book that I recently read is Clive Barker's The Hellbound Heart. I read this for a couple of reasons. One, I've always wanted to read it and I finally got around to it. Yay! And 2, if you're a horror fan, you probably know that Hulu is coming out with a Hellraiser remake. But yes, I read The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. This cover is also, it's from the library, but it's super cool because like, it's just a cool cover. This was my first Clive Barker and it was exactly what I expected it to be and I absolutely loved it. The second book I read was an audiobook that I've been meaning to get around to as well. It is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. This is a dark academia-esque thriller following our main character, Jessica, I don't know. She's a girl that has a J name. We're following her in 2 different timelines, one when she is at college, like freshman through senior year, and one at the 10-year college reunion, where it's her and her like 6 best friends from college are getting back together at this college reunion. And one of their friends from college was murdered while they were at school together. And they come to find out that someone in their friend group did it. And it's like, oh, who did it? It was fun. It was good. I had maybe too high expectations for it because of everything that I had heard about how good it was. It was good. The second question is 2 books that are nostalgic to you. These are from my middle grade days, from probably when I was like 6 to 10 years old-ish. The first book is the Percy Jackson series, specifically The Lightning Thief. This is actually my husband's copy of the book, but I have my own copies somewhere, I don't know where. But I got my first copy of this doing a Barnes & Noble reading challenge, like summer reading challenge, where you read a certain number of books and you get to pick a free book. And I grabbed this one off the shelf and read it almost immediately. And of course loved it because it's The Lightning Thief. It's the Percy Jackson series. Like, it's perfection. And since then I have reread the series just one time. I'm hoping to do another reread, also anticipating the TV show coming out. So this series is, or I guess this book in particular, is very nostalgic to me. The second book that is very nostalgic to me is hitting myself in the head. It's The Tale of Despereaux by Kate DiCamillo? DiCamillo? I don't know how to say her name. I've never said her name out loud. That's embarrassing. Anyway, The Tale of Despereaux. I loved this book as a kid. It has perfect little, deckled edges, and it has illustrations in it. I really need to reread this because I don't remember exactly what it is about. I do know that it is about our little mouse Despereaux with his little needle sword, and I remember that there is a rat in the dungeons that craves the light, and we have a princess named P, and I think there's a serving girl in here as well, And, you know, all their paths cross, and I just remember this being the most wholesome, heartwarming story. I loved it so much, and yeah, I really need to reread this. What the heck? Why haven't I reread this? The next question is 2 books for school, or 2 books that you read for school that you would like to read again. And I was very lucky to have enjoyed a lot of the books that I read for school. 2 books in particular do come to mind when I think of books that I would like to reread. One is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I was actually just talking to my mom about this book the other day. I was fairly young when I read this book. I think younger than most probably are when they read it. And obviously I remember the overarching story and everything, but I also remember that I really had to use like Cliff Notes and Spark Notes and notes to keep up with the story. But I really want to reread it because I feel like I might appreciate it more as an adult. The second book is, I have reread this just one time, but the first time I read it, it was for school, and it is still a book that I want to read again because I adore this book. This is also a book that is nostalgic to me as well, but that is, well, you can't tell, but Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. I read this for school not knowing anything about it besides that it was considered gothic, and I am so lucky that I didn't know anything about this book, because I've never read a classic that I was so immediately absorbed and invested in. And like, if you don't know the story, maybe keep it that way and read it, because like there were twists that I, you know, didn't know existed. She is everything. I love her. So this is a book that I read for school that I would love to read again. Again. 2 books that you have wanted to read. Okay. So the first book is The Golden Compass, which is the first book in the, what series? His Dark Materials. I knew that. The first book in the His Dark Materials series. I really love this cover. So, as I was saying, look how pretty the cover is. Oh, I see what you were barking at. How dare that man walk. I never read this ever, and I've wanted to. I don't know a lot about this. I just know that it is a beloved fantasy, and I know that I saw the movie that came out years ago that everyone who loved this series said, absolutely not, we don't know her. But I haven't seen the TV adaptation, and I'm going to hold off on watching that until I read this. But yes, this is a book that I have wanted to read. And then I thought I'd grab an adult book that I've wanted to read for a little while. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is about a circus that appears when you live on an Air Force base. Wednesdays at 12 p.m. sound like the apocalypse. We're back. Okay, this is about a circus that appears out of nowhere and is only open at night. And we're following our 2 main characters, Celia and Marco, who are rival magicians, and only one can be left standing. They don't know that though, and they also fall in love. Very chaotic way for me to describe what this is about, but I love the kind of chapter headings, part headings. It's a really pretty book with a really pretty cover, and yeah, everyone seems to like this to some degree, and I have wanted to read it for a while. Okay. The final question is 2 hyped books that you will probably read, and I don't typically get on the hyped book talk train. So there's not a ton, but since I do own these 2 hyped books, I'll probably read them. The first is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I grabbed this because it was like really cheap because it's used. Someone's dog got a little happy with it. And yeah, I've never read an Emily Henry. I know everyone either loves her or really doesn't. But we have this, and I will probably read it because it's on my shelf. The other book that I will probably read, that I am much more confident that I will like, mostly because my mother read it and we have like practically the same reading tastes. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. I don't know. V.E. Schwab. There we go. A hyped book. People love this. People get, you know, their little book tabs all up and down through here. I know it is about Addie LaRue, who makes a deal with the devil for immortality, maybe? Well, I did not realize the end pages were so pretty. Fun! This is slightly longer than I thought it was as well. That's fine. A hyped book that I will probably read is this. I've never read anything by her before, and I have 2 of her books on my shelves, so doing great. Okay, that is it for this tag. You know what? I'm not going to tag anybody. If you want to do it, do it. It's a fun little tag to kind of get your bookish interests through time together. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great day, a great rest of your week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I post every Wednesday and sometimes on Saturdays. And yeah, see y'all later. Bye. Yum. Yum.